Once upon a time, in East Java, there was a king named Prabu who ruled Majapahit. The king had a beautiful daughter named Dear Ayu Pasparini. The beauty of the princess was very famous throughout the country. Many young men from various corners tried to propose to the princess, but in vain because the princess did not want to get married. Seeing this, the king began to worry about the future of his beloved daughter and her kingdom. The king really wanted to see his daughter marry the right man. Hearing this, the daughter was truly shocked, but did not dare to refuse or even go against her father's request. The princess agreed. The king immediately ordered his guards to spread competition to all the people and princes around Majapahit. Day after day, the princess became confused about this decision. He often reflects hope that in the future her husband would be a great person and according to her wishes. Even though the princess knew that Kai Grudax's vow and Kai Sakardalima's Guang were air runes that had tremendous power. So the winner is definitely not just anyone, but for some reason his heart felt restless. Finally, the appointed day arrived. All participants from all over the country had gathered in the royal square. The king was seen sitting on his throne with the empress and daughter Dao Ayu Paspaini. The guards prepared the competition equipment, namely the bows of Kai Grudaxa and Gong Kai Sakwadalima. Prabu hits the gong to signal the start of the competition. Taking turns, participants begin to stretch their bows and lift the gong. But none of them succeeded. In fact, it is not uncommon for some to experience disaster. Like a broken hand when trying to stretch a bow and then in the race from having to lift a large and heavy gong. Prabu started to get nervous because he was afraid that no man would be able to win this competition. When the king was about to hit the gong, it was a sign that the competition was over. From a distance, a young man with an ox head can be seen. He approached and said to the king, "Forgive me, Augustus Prabu. Are you allowed to take part in this competition? Who are you kissing at?" "I usually call Lembu Suro Augustus Prabu." The king seemed to underestimate and believed that Lembu Suro would not be able to win this competition. With Lembu Suro's canoric knowledge, stretching Kai Grudax's body is very easy. That met greeted by loud applause from the audience. But it's different with the princess. She seemed very worried because she didn't want to marry a human with an ox head. When Lembu Suro prepared to leave Kai Sakwadalima's gong, everyone looks tensed. The princess is no exception. She really hopes that Lembu Suro will fail in this competition. But fate said otherwise. Lembu Suro is able to lift the gong without any significant obstacles. All the spectators cheered. Meanwhile, Dear Ayu Paspaini's daughter remained silent. His heart was so broken. She couldn't accept the reality of marrying a human with an ox head. While crying, the princess left the competition event. Seeing this, the king could only fall in, because he had disappointed his only daughter. Even so, it is in order to maintain dignity as a king. Prabu still married his daughter Dear Ayu Paspaini to the winner of the competition, namely Lembu Suro. The princess cried, lamenting her fate. For days he locked himself in his room, just silently daydreaming with a blank stare. Turkan alone shed tears, seeing his master's poor condition. A nanny advised the princess. The nanny suggested that the princess make one more request to Lembu Suro as a condition for marriage, and the condition is that Lembu Suro must build a well at the top of Mount Kelud. Later the well became a place for the princess to bathe, but it must be completed in one night. The princess accepted the proposal and immediately conveyed it to Lembu Suro. Without thinking anymore, the group of royal family and Lembu Suro departed to the top of Mount Kelud. Dusk had turned into night, arriving at the top of Mount Kelud. Lembu Suro started digging the ground with his two horns. Not long after that, Lembu Suro had dug quite deep into the ground. Now it's getting late. The well being dug is getting deeper. This made the princess even more panicked. The princess urged her father to prevent Lembu Suro from completing the conditions before dawn, because he didn't want to disappoint his only daughter a second time. The brave king ordered his guards to fill the well with stones and soil. No one dared to disobey the king's orders. They immediately carried out the order, even though Lembu Suro was still in the well. The guards ignored Lembu Suro's screams. They continued to cover the well until Lembu Suro was buried in it. However, Lembu Suro's voice could still be heard from outside. Lembu Suro swore an oath to the king and all the people of Kediri. O people of Kediri, one day will get a very big reward. Namely, Kediri will become a river, Weta will become land, and Tulungagung will become a deep water area. Because of this threat, Prabu Bravia and all the people tried to ward off the oath by building a strong security embankment until it resembles a mountain and is now called Mount Kelud. Prabu also held a remuneration with offerings in the crater of Mount Kelud. However, every time Mount Kelud erupts, residents think it is Lembu Suro's rampage as revenge for what Prabu Bravia and his daughter did.